Top 7. Built-in gas fire pit. Looking at a permanent fire pit area, it's hard not to be convinced. The blue flames, the sunken seating, it all feels like a mini resort right in your backyard. That's why it becomes one of the top sellers when people start designing the patio. But there's a truth you only realize after using it for a while. You're stuck with it when smoke starts blowing your way. You can't simply move your chair like you can with a portable fire pit. Everything is fixed. You can only sit there or get up and leave. And those nights happen more often than you'd think. It doesn't stop there. Maintenance also becomes a repetitive issue. Ash accumulates, rainwater pools, leaves fall inside, and every cleanup is more inconvenient than you'd imagine. Over time, you start doing it less, and the area that was once the centerpiece becomes worn out. The most painful part is that your entire patio layout is locked around something you might only use a few times a year. So, are you investing in a real experience or just an initially beautiful image? Top 6. Cheap outdoor string lights. Outdoor string lights can make any space look warmer in just minutes, and that's why they appear everywhere, from backyards to cafes and restaurants. But the problem isn't the idea itself, it's the quality and installation. Cheap lights start to degrade faster than you think. Bulbs burn out unevenly, creating annoying dark spots. Wires discolor after a few seasons, and the wooden poles holding them up start to lean or rot. What was once a highlight becomes something you have to constantly repair. But there's a bigger problem that few realize, which is obsolescence. When a trend appears everywhere, it quickly becomes dated. And after just a few years, you'll look at your garden as a carbon copy of a moment in time. If you want truly sustainable and designer lighting, invest in a proper lighting system like path lights, uplights, or in-ground lights. These not only perform better, but also maintain their aesthetic value for years. So, are you decorating temporarily or building a long-lasting space? Top 5. Big outdoor rug. A large outdoor rug seems like the easiest way to turn a patio into a living room-like space. It adds color, defines boundaries, and brings an immediate sense of coziness. But the reality starts to set in after a short while. Dirt and sand accumulate underneath where you can't see them, and moisture gets trapped between the rug and the hard surface, creating a breeding ground for mold, especially if the backing is fabric. This doesn't just affect the rug, it leaves stains on the surface underneath. And when you try to clean it, you realize that washing a large outdoor rug is no simple task. Spraying it with water only addresses the surface, while deep down, it still holds on to dirt. Over time, it looks old despite your best efforts to maintain it. The corners curl up in the wind, leaves pile up, and chair leg imprints become permanently pressed down. The solution isn't to ditch them entirely, but to choose the right type or use them correctly. Rugs with a breathable weave that are stored away seasonally work much better. So, do you want an instant sense of coziness or a solution that won't cause trouble later? Top 4. Decorative water features features from big box stores. Those small tabletop fountains or corner water features are always advertised as a simple way to bring the relaxing sound of water into your living space. And on the packaging, they look perfect. But the actual experience is far different. The pumps are usually small and not designed for long-term operation. They clog easily. Water evaporates faster than you'd think, and just one dry run means you have to replace the entire system. Not to mention the issue of algae growth when water isn't circulated properly. After just a short time, the water starts to change color and smell, and you end up spending more time cleaning than enjoying it. And what disappoints people most is the material. Most are made of plastic or faux stone resin. When placed in the actual light of the yard, they don't provide the premium feel seen in advertisements. If you truly want a water feature, the only way for it to work long-term is to invest properly from the start with a suitable pump and real materials. So, do you want a quick fix or a sustainable experience? Top 3. Pergola with no cover. A pergola is one of the most beautiful structures you can add to a yard. The overhead beams, the light filtering through creating shadows, and a very designer feel. But there's a major misconception many only realize after building it. it almost never solves the weather problem. An open pergola only provides about 30% shade and is completely useless when it rains. All the furniture underneath still gets wet, and you still have to run out to cover it when the weather changes. This makes the user experience not much different from having nothing overhead at all. Not to mention, if it's wood, this structure needs periodic maintenance or it will deteriorate over time. You end up with a beautiful project that isn't actually useful. The solution isn't to skip the pergola, but to complete it. An adjustable roof, or at least a waterproof cover, will transform it from a decorative element into a space you actually use every day. So, do you want something that looks good or something that actually works? Top 2, quality patio umbrella with weighted base. It sounds simple, but a quality outdoor umbrella can completely change how you use your space. The difference between a cheap umbrella and a good one isn't in the size, but in the experience. A good umbrella has a smooth opening mechanism, UV-resistant fabric, and won't fade after just one season. Most importantly, it's large enough to actually create shade. Many people buy umbrellas that are too small and then wonder why they're still in the sun. But the most overlooked factor is the base. A light base will flip in the wind and make it impossible to use stably, while a heavy base keeps everything fixed and safe. This is one of those small upgrades that yields immediate results. You'll sit outside longer, eat more comfortably, and enjoy the space more. So, are you trying to save a small amount, or are you missing out on a better daily experience? Top 1, comfortable outdoor seating. Finally, the most important factor isn't what you see first, but what you feel when you sit down. Many outdoor furniture sets look great in the store, but aren't designed for long-term use. You might try sitting for a few minutes and feel fine, but after a long afternoon, you realize the chair is too hard, the backrest is at the wrong angle, and the cushion is too thin. That makes you not want to sit outside anymore. When comfort doesn't exist, the entire space becomes meaningless because you don't use it. A good seat needs enough depth to relax, a slightly reclined backrest, and cushions thick enough to provide support over time. The material also has to be suitable so it doesn't hold water and dries quickly after rain. If possible, you should try it in person instead of just looking at images, because you just can't judge the actual feel through a screen. This is an investment that directly dictates whether you actually use your yard or not. So, are you buying a furniture set for display or a place you truly want to sit every day?